Hi, here viewers of Equinoxe Television. It's time for the news. Thank you so much for joining us. We now begin right away with our magistrates. It is now difficult for the Cameroon Development Corporation, the CDC, to produce enough banana and plantain for the country, both for local consumption and also for exportation. The Anglophone crisis has negatively affected the production of banana by the Cameroon Development Corporation, and the government is now seeking ways of boosting the production of banana, this time around in the Bolova in the south region of the country. And today in this newscast, we will be beginning with our series on Christmas and Christmas preparations, not only in the city of Douala but in other cities and villages across Cameroon. Stay with us for details and more. Welcome back, viewers. To begin this edition of the news with this human interest story in the Douala 3 subdivision, where fire has consumed an entire snack bar at Dakar. Dakar is a locality in the Douala 3 area, and our reporter Mala Glory tells us that fortunately enough, no human life was lost, but enormous material damages were recorded. Let's now have her report.
It was about 7 a.m. this Thursday morning that the inhabitants of Elf neighborhood got up to see this snack bar covered in flames. A popular drinking spot in the neighborhood and other shops close to it were all brought down to ashes. According to the population, the firefighting brigade arrived at the scene when the inferno had engulfed the building.
I saw fire behind this building. I told my neighbor, that's fire, that's smoke. He said, there's nothing there. So they tried to call the firefighting brigade. They called them, they wasted a lot of time. So they came 2 hours late. They came here almost the third time. They came the first time, water got finished. They went back and brought water again.
According to the inhabitants, the incident was caused by an electric circuit. Material damages worth millions of francs CFA were recorded.
But we thank God that we did not have any human loss. Nobody died. Nobody died, but so very few people had wounds.
The owners of the shops now count their losses. Meantime, investigations have been opened to determine the cause of the fire.
That fire incident took place precisely at Elf, and just to let you know that a sports complex was entirely consumed by fire at the Equinoxe neighborhood here in Douala. That was yesterday. And now we take you to the west region of the country, precisely at the Bacho village of the Open Camp division, where the local population are protesting. They staged a peaceful protest demonstration at the Banka divisional officer's office to decry the installation of a non-indigene as their chief. Let's now have more with Innocent Aze.
Disgruntled natives of Bacho village in Banka subdivision, Opankam division of the West region. They stormed the office of the divisional officer bearing peace plans and placards with messages on them like, "The people of Bacho oppose moves by the traditional ruler of Banka to create new chiefdoms in Bacho. There has never existed in Koka chiefdom in Bacho village to read but these."
Bacho, il n'y a pas un village qui s'appelle Konka.
Waving the peace plans, they say no to attempts to divide their village Bacho. These Bacho locals are also against organization of a so-called funeral of a Bacho notable from December 9 to the 10th. According to them, behind the so-called funeral ceremony is installation of Loga Yannick, son of the deceased Loga Bernard, one of the 9 notables of the Bacho chiefdom, as chief of Nkoka.
c'est des manigances, c'est juste pour dire qu'on fait le funérailles et puis on voit les chefs, on arrête, on dit voici les chefs.
They played on the divisional officer Pascal Joa, who was not on seat, to abort the said illegal and fake funeral without giving it a second thought.
On ne peut pas faire le funérailles dans un village où il y a un chef, les chefs ne sont pas au courant, les notables ne sont pas au courant. Mais c'est donc quelle sorte de funérailles?
According to the determined locals, Loga Yannick has never presented himself to be made chief of the fictitious Nkoka village.
And now, viewers, we told you in the headlines that it is now very difficult for the Cameroon Development Corporation, the CDC, to produce enough bananas for local production and also for exportation. It is because of the Anglophone crisis, which has greatly negatively affected the production capacity of the Cameroon Development Corporation. Now, the government is seeking ways of boosting the production of bananas more in Ebolova, in the south region of Cameroon. Let's now have more with Immaculate Fogui.
Since the escalation of the armed conflict in the northwest and southwest regions, banana and plantain production have drastically dropped. According to statistics published by the Banana Association of Cameroon, the Cameroon Development Corporation (CDC) was absent from the banana export for 2 years as of September 2018. Before this happened, the company had shipped 23,495 tons of bananas between January and May 2018, almost 3 times the volume exported in 2022, which stands at 8,443. In order to boost banana and plantain production in Cameroon, private and government stakeholders are looking for ways on how to enforce the production of banana in other parts of the country. To this effect, a partnership agreement was signed in the city of Ebolowa in the south region. Millions of hectares of land will be offered for the production of banana and plantains. We call it plan building a factory that will enable its transformation.
We have just assisted to the signing of partnership, public-private partnership, in order to handle all the value chain of banana plantain, to create income and to ameliorate the livelihood of population. I'm very proud that it is in Ebolova that we launched this business.
Plans are currently being made to revolutionize the sector in order to ensure better yields. It should be noted that before the crisis, banana was Cameroon's 3rd largest export product.
And today we begin our series on Christmas and Christmas celebrations in Cameroon. Our markets here in the economic capital Douala already have the Christmas colors, Christmas trees, and other Christmas decorations are already flooding some markets here in the economic capital Douala. Our reporter Lucille Yengu is here, made a stop over at Douche Municipal, where most Christmas gadgets are being sold. She now tells us more about the ambience which reigns there in this write-up.
As we approach December 25th, the economic capital is beating to the rhythm of Christmas. Circulation in the Douche market is almost impossible as sellers and buyers have filled the market in preparation of Christmas. The market is made up of Christmas jingle bells, tree topper hats, Christmas trees of all categories, Christmas carols, children's doll play, and Christmas decorations. The affluence of people in the market is a clear indication that the festive period is here. Toys of all kinds and all ages are available, like airplanes, dolls, guitars, watches, balloons, pianos, tambourines, and lots more. Shoes, dresses, and other decorations are also available in the market. Hawkers have chopped up more than half of the space of the road. Talking to some sellers, they complain that sales do not reflect the usual demand of the festive period. While buyers complain of a hike in the prices compared to last year. Jungle bells and Merry Christmas songs welcomes customers in most markets in the city of Douala.
And now we talk corruption in Cameroon. Corruption continues to eat deep into our Cameroonian society, and observers are asking with regards to the increasing rate of corruption in the country. The National Anti-Corruption Commission calls on all to join in the fight against corruption so as to bring to an end that cankerworm. Let's now have more with a staffman, Babila Jonathan.
Hundreds of corruption cases recorded in 4 days in Cameroon's economic capital Douala alone. The outcome of the anti-corruption clinic speaks volumes of the level of corruption in the Cameroonian society.
CONAC received 365 complaints.
The cankerworm of corruption is eating deep into almost all sectors of national life.
La délivrance des titres de transport. The issuance of transport documents, public contracts, social welfare, the fight against urban disorder, la liquidation de droits à des ex-employés, the settlement of claims for former employees, the banking sector, secondary education, public health, regional and local authorities, cybercrime and others. La cybercriminalité.
Individuals and the state are incurring loss in millions of francs CFA because of corruption. The president of the National Anti-Corruption Commission, Reverend Dr. Jedune Masigams, is urging all to join the anti-corruption crusade and to adopt integrity as a way of life to reduce the ill of corruption in the country.
And now in other news, reports have it that the assets of Cameroonian business tycoon Alhaji Baba Dampulu worth over 300 billion francs CFA has been liquidated in South Africa, and observers fear that South Africa and Cameroon might be gone for an imminent diplomatic rift, as our reporter for me, Armstrong Sanda, tells us in this write-up.
The genesis of what is now threatening diplomatic ties between Cameroon and South Africa began with the decision of South African-based banking institution First National Bank to seize and liquidate the properties of Cameroonian business tycoon Alhaji Baba Dampulu, valued at over 300 billion francs CFA. The bank claims that Baba Dampulu, who took a loan of over 21 billion francs CFA in 2017, failed to meet his payment obligations despite the additional time he was accorded, a decision and claim objected by Baba Dampulu. Talking to IOL news organ in South Africa, Dampulu's daughter Maimuna Babas revealed that the First National Bank decided with no reason to put an end to the credit agreement, demanding its immediate payment. The loan's repayment period of 10 years had not been reached when the National First Bank settled for the controversial move. Maimuna Baba said Maimuna Baba, like most Cameroonians, believed that the First National Bank's decision was to pave the way for the white people to dominate the real estate sector in South Africa, controlled by white minority. Speaking to the Horizon newspaper, a Cameroonian-based legal mind said the credit agreement with no mortgage assignment cannot in any case justify the liquidation of the debtor's entire asset. He added that what is happening against the Cameroonian in South Africa is not justified in law, and one cannot also realize assets worth more than 300 billion francs CFA liquidated through the payment of a loan worth 21 billion francs CFA. Back in Cameroon, the President of the Republic is reported to have written to his South African counterpart Cyril Ramaphosa. On the repeated calls for legal actions, Dampulu is confirmed to have received an order from a court in Yaoundé permitting him to seize the bank accounts of 2 South African multinationals operating in Cameroon. Experts thus fear that the two countries might just have set a stage for a damaging economic and diplomatic ties.
And now we take you to Qatar to meet our special envoy Sumat Njikangi. Where we come back to the scuffle between the Fecafoot president Samuel Eto'o and the provocative attitudes of the Algerian YouTuber. A reporter in Qatar, Samantha Kangebro, spoke with two Algerians who say it is a blow to African solidarity, and they blame the incident on some misunderstandings between Samuel Eto'o and also the Algerian YouTuber. Let's listen to the two Algerians who spoke to our reporter Samantha Kangebro in this excerpt.
As an Algerian, it's like I'm ashamed because it's supposed to be great, because this World Cup is perfect. There is no fights, no issues. Like for each of them, they happen to be like angry or something like that. But the things is happen everywhere. But somewhere Eto'o are good. We have 1, 2, 3, viva l'Algérie, bro. Because the football for us is like in the blood. Like when we lost, it was like very like we were so sad, because there is like people who were crying. There is like we were that days like we were so sad. We want to be like here. We would like to be in the World Cup. We would like to be here in Qatar, like supporting and like holding our flags. But it's okay. Even if Cameroon won and they are here and they played very well, Abu Bakr is like very, very good player. He is like #1. We are sad in the meantime because you went out. We want to like any African team to be here, like to make Africa proud of it. But we still supporting Morocco because they still here.
Believe me, brother. For us, like we are all brother. Even in our religion, like no one he will judge about only like ball, you know. So in the end, we are brother and sister, and there is no problem. I know it's like maybe football for us like something special for the Algerian, maybe for all of the African people, to be honest. But in the end, we support each team from Africa and Arabic. To be honest, if you want to make the history, made it with your legs first, okay? If you wanted to be in the history of the football, play hard, made a good game. But if you lose, for example, you should accept what's happened to you. That is the reality. You need to accept that thing. Okay, we have a good team, and I'm really proud to be Algerian too, and they really support that. But sometimes, you know, it's a football. In the end, it's just a football. Like, we don't need all of this drama about fighting, or we don't support each other. No, bro. We are on the same country, same people, so to my side, I'm so upset about what happened for both. Samuel is a famous player. He was for the CAF before, and he's now like the most famous one in the world, you know. So it's already present in Africa. So every small mistake from him, he would be like for all of us as a bad one. But for us, he should be, and we should be all of us in one hand. What happened, it's already happened. We are not God to judge about anyone, okay? In the end, we are human, and anyone, he will do mistake. So at least, be mercy, but I hope in the future, no one from example, from the professional team in each country, he will treat like this, you know? So I respect both of them. The Algerian man is like my brother, and how I said this, even Eto'o, like, is a famous one. So I hope they will give at least good look about the African people, because for what's happened between Samuel Eto'o and the other one, it's like really bad luck for African people, even for us too, you know. We are on the same boat, you understand me? So I hope, this is like a small message, to be honest. We need to support each other, always, no matter what's happened in the end. We are in the same land, in the same country.
And now, Qatar's mangrove forest is one of the country's ecological wonders. The Qatari government, according to our reporters there, is putting in a lot of resources in the preservation and management of its mangrove forest. Our reporter, or our special envoy, Smart Dikan Gabriel, made a stop over at one of the mangrove forests in Qatar. He now tells us that it is a wonderful attraction site.
Hello, we are welcoming you to Qatar. You might think that Qatar is all about dry lands, but that is not the situation. We are at the Al-Khor Mangrove, where we are going to discover so many things. During this discovery, we are going to learn how to do kayaking, that is on canoe. And of course, I'm going to be one of those who will be on that kayak. Let's get the tour in the mangrove at Alco. Upon our arrival at the entrance of the Alco mangrove, our guide indicated that due to the high tides, places were slippery, so everyone was forced to remove their shoes. At the aqua sport reception, first instructions were given by the head of the unit.
What we need from you right now, just get ready for the trip. Don't take any valuable stuff with you in the water. If you need to have your phone, it's fine. I'll give you a waterproof bag. You can keep it in your phone. If you like to take a picture, take a video for the trip. That's fine for this one. Don't take wallets. Don't take any valuable thing here. This area should be nothing here because you'll get wet. Right? For the shoes, we advise you don't go with shoes with...
The mangrove forest we are about discovering is one of the biggest in Qatar, and it is managed by Aqua Sports. Unfortunately, the FIFA World Cup hasn't brought any profit to those managing these sites.
Actually, it's not too much. It's disappointing. I don't know why.
Okay, so
we was ready to get a lot of people. It's fine. We got nice, but we are not too much busier as we expected. We have 5 trips per day. Okay, we should, as I told you, the optimum for each trip it should be 100. It's like we have like 30% or 40% from each trip, which is fine. It's not the optimum, but still okay. We are fine as a company. But we're expecting after World Cup, there is more people will be coming to visit Qatar. More people will asking who's this country who's managed and organized this World Cup. And I believe everything is fine with everyone. Everyone getting a positive feedback about the World Cup. Sure.
Prices, however, have also been increased for a visit. Instead of the usual 240 riyal, which is equivalent to 41,200 francs CFA paid on a normal day, 60 Qatari riyal, which is equivalent to 10,285 francs CFA, has been added to it, making 300 Qatari riyal, which is about 51,436 francs CFA. After the talk from Mohammed, the kayak guide were getting set the life jackets, which is a necessary equipment for all, for those who had shoes that water could easily penetrate, the change to slippers, and each person must have a paddle. A training session was then held by Kevin, who is the guide for the tour, to discover the mangrove.
So number one is how to hold your paddle. So as you can see, your paddle has a silver marking. You should not touch the silver marking. Just put it on top of your head and make sure your hands are 90 degrees angle. But make sure as you paddle, you stretch your arm to the edge. You see my arm? Stretch to the edge so that you can scoop the most amount of water, and as you go back to the edge. How to go inside your kayak. So you know most people step on it like this, and if you do like this is wrong. Don't step on the kayak. Just sit, first sit, and then you put your legs in. Alright, and then another thing is as you paddle, just relax, just use your arms. Don't paddle using your whole body. You see when you use your body how the kayak is moving. And if you do this, you might get so much tired, or else you might freak.
After which the participants took off to discover the mangrove forest while kayaking. After an hour's ride, a stopover was made at the Purple's Island. We were told it is from the Purple Island that Qatari's color was chosen. Reason while it is a historic island for the Qatari people.
The reason why it's called Purple Island is because this place was used as a production site of purple dye. Production site of purple dye. And how did they get the purple dye? So there was a special snail in the water by the name Murex. So this is the snail, an example of the snail. So they could get the snail and they could crack at the back. After the snail had green blood, so they could get the green blood and expose it to sunlight. And then it could change to maroon. And then the more they keep exposing the maroon dye, then it could change to purple. And in the older days here in Qatar, purple dye was only afforded by the royal families, and it was used for making garments or clothes and for decoration. But now they stopped because of environmental reasons.
The mangrove forest remains a safe home for rare birds like the heron and flamingo, because life here is more safe than outside. The mangrove is an important sea plant that accommodates marine creatures like fish and crabs. They also prevent soil erosion. The mangrove takes in water through its root, and this is possible after the roots must have drained the salt in the water. Reasons why walking on the roots of a mangrove or throwing plastics carelessly might lead to the death of a mangrove tree. Yes, we are in the heart of Alco Mangrove here in Qatar. It has been a wonderful day. After an hour's ride, 1 hour 30 minutes, the guide took us through the mangrove. It's a wonderful one for you to visit Qatar. Reporting for Equinoxe Television in the heart of the Alco Mangrove in Qatar, Smart Njikan Gabriel.
Thank you so much, Smart, for that report. Interesting out there in Qatar. And viewers, thank you so much for always according us your time every 6 p.m. Don't go away, as usual. The news in the French language comes up at exactly 8 p.m. Stay with us on Equinoxe Television. Bye-bye for now.
Equinoxe Télévision, au-delà de l'image, nous rendons compte. De lundi à vendredi sur Equinoxe Télévision.
Pour être au parfum de tout sur tout avant tout le monde, regardez Cadence Matinale sur Equinoxe Télévision. De lundi à vendredi.